So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to write a high converting advertorial and the psychology that goes behind writing an advertorial and why it actually works when converting cold traffic. I'm going to show you guys the exact framework that I follow to write my own advertorials to basically scale. And I'm going to do an example breakdown of an advertorial that I found that perfectly follows my 10-step framework. And I'm going to give you guys my prompt stacked, so you guys can so you guys can actually write an advertorial for your own brand and for your own products. Another part of the intro that I'm going to add right now is this video is probably going to be one of the most informative videos on how to write an advertorial, and I am going to show you, like, I handpicked this advertorial because it was just so well written, how the copy was conducted, how the open loops were done, how the curiosity gaps were created, and then basically how they construct their copy. So yeah, I think this video is going to be an extremely good video regarding copywriting as well as writing advertorials, and it's just going to be a masterclass because the example I picked is extremely good. Now, getting straight into the psychological principles, there's really just two main points that go into a high converting advertorial. Number one, it's actually creating the gap. And what do I mean by that? Number one, here is where they're currently at. This is their current situation, and this here is their dream outcome. So they're in pain here, and they're trying to get to this dream outcome and get away from pain. And you need to position yourself to become this bridge, aka your product, and position yourself to be right here, telling them that you're here, but I can give you this bridge which can take you to your dream outcome and away from pain, right? Now, the further and further you make the gap between point A to point B, the better it converts, right? Because the further you make it seem, the more they lose hope, and the more they lose hope, they're like, oh my God, I can't do anything about this. But once you make them lose hope and you position your product as the only viable solution to be able to get them to their dream outcome, they'll do anything to latch onto it, which is why it helps in converting. Number two, the pain threshold. This is something that I got from a separate video, but this is super important to understand. So to give you an example, if let's say you're in a fight and you're boxing, somebody punches you in the face, it hurts, but it's not the end of the world. Like, maybe you get like a bloody nose, that's all. You just put a couple like tissues up your nose and then you keep on fighting, right? However, let's say somebody punches you and three of your teeth like fly out the door and you're in extreme pain right now. You are going to do whatever it takes to be able to get to the hospital and then fix that up. Why? Because the pain is through the roof. And the higher up you are on the pain threshold, and the more you feel the pain, the more likely you are going to try to fix the pain. Essentially, because everybody likes to stay comfortable. It's just in human nature. Everybody wants to be comfortable. They want to do what they've been doing. They don't really want to make a change unless you feel a tremendous amount of pain and you want to make a change. This is the same thing for anybody who wants to make a name for themselves out there. If you don't really feel any pain within your current situation in your life, you're just happy with your current job, your current income, etc., you're not really going to do anything to change that. You're just going to keep living life the way you are. However, let's say you are super unhappy with your income, super unhappy with your job. You're just very depressed, let's say. The pain is extremely high within your current situation, so you are going to do whatever it takes to be able to get out of that. So your job in an advertorial is to make sure that the prospect, the reader, feels so much pain so that they actually click through to your product page and they actually buy the product to be able to solve their pain. So these are the two main psychological principles that go into a high converting advertorial. Now, getting straight into the framework, there's an extremely specific framework that I follow whilst writing my advertorials. It's almost like a native ad. It's a 10-step process, but number one, it's going to be the hook. So the hook is one job. Same thing with that native ads. It really just has to capture the attention of the readers, or if they even in the slightest bit feel like they're being sold to, they're just going to click off. They're going to forget they ever saw your ad, right? So your hook is one job. Keep them reading for another minute and test the hook. You guys need to test the hook more than anything else. Same with the native ads, same with the advertorials. The headlines and the hooks are what matter the most. It's just going to determine whether the rest of your copy is worth reading, right? So if the hook doesn't capture attention, nothing else below will be read. And it can't look like an advertisement, which is why so many of these advertorials are like Daily News Insider, etc. Looks like a news article. And it has to look like something that's actually going to help the readers. Like, how many people stop their scroll on an Instagram post if it has to do something with like Claude and setting up agents? I'm pretty sure a lot of us stop the scroll and then read through it. Why? Because it serves a purpose for you and it helps you. Same thing with these people. Just because you guys look at the ROAS, it's like a 3x, you guys think these people are numbers. They're actually not. They're actually real human beings. So your job is to provide as much value as possible through these advertorials and through the hook and the headline, so then they can actually determine like, okay, I'm going to keep on reading because this serves like an actual purpose. It provides value to me, right? And just from a human being perspective, people are always thinking, what's in it for me, right? So customers are probably going to be thinking the same, what's in it for me? So if your hook or your headline doesn't seem to serve actual value for them, towards them, they're not going to stop the scroll and read. So number one is the hook, and make sure this is extremely well done. Now, number two is the current situation, and this part of the advertorial has to do with you mirroring their own situation to them. This is because they have to think that this whole article is for them, and it's almost like reading or watching a meme and thinking, oh yeah, that's me. Like for example, if you see like an ecom meme and say, or the ecom bros run the same sale for the whole year, you see that, you laugh, and you're like, oh yeah, that's me. You got to do the same thing with your advertorial and for your own prospects. This is because relatability builds trust, and it shows you truly understand their pain, and people buy from people who truly understand them, right? So once the relatability builds trust, you got to portray the fact that, okay, like I've been in your shoes and I know exactly what you're going through. And if you do that so well to them, it's going to build the relatability, sorry, and then build the trust. And people are going to buy from you because the trust has been built. Now, it has to be written so precisely to the point where it's almost uncomfortable for the readers to read. They have to be like, how do they actually know that? Like, there's no way they actually know that unless they've been through the same thing. And that's the whole point of mirroring their own situation to them. Number three, failed mechanisms. You need to shut down every other solution that could have been viable to fix their current pain point, right? It also needs to paint the picture that if they keep doing nothing about it, it's only going to get worse. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. This is the point you have to get across with a failed mechanism aspect of the advertorial. And you have to make them question, okay, what happens if I keep doing the same things over and over for the next like 3 to 5 years? Where does that lead to? It's going to lead to no pain that is fixed, and the pain is only going to get worse. So you really, okay, so the narrator personally has to have tried all the solutions and failed. So this kind of ties back into the relatability aspect. This is because once the trust is built and the narrator suggests something new that actually worked, it's much more believable to the readers, right? So when you actually pitch your product, if you show that there's been a lot of failed solutions in the past that you personally tried through the advertorial, people are going to be like, oh, this person tried all these previous solutions that didn't work for them, and this person finally found something that works and is pitching it to us, so it probably works, right? So it's kind of like borrowed authority in a sense, which is super important. So number four is going to be the root cause. This is because people don't actually know why they have that problem, and if they knew why they had the problem, they would have fixed it by now. So whoever can articulate this clearly to them automatically becomes the authority figure. So you have to reframe their current beliefs as to why their previous solutions didn't work. And this is because, as of now, every reader is skeptical because of all the past failed solutions from other dropshipping stores, right? So once you can articulate to them why their previous solutions didn't work and provide them with like a specific new piece of information on the root cause, this hidden explanation on why their previous solutions didn't work changes everything. So you almost have to explain to them so clearly why their previous solutions didn't work and why they haven't been able to solve XYZ problem for the longest time. And you have to provide them with like an epiphany moment, and they have to be like, oh my God, that actually makes sense. This is exactly why I haven't been able to fix my problem, right? So it shifts the reader's current beliefs, which builds more trust inside the customer to be able to try out new solutions that you will be suggesting. And then it wasn't the fact that they were the problem, it's just something that they've never figured out or were told. So it's like this hidden mechanism or hidden explanation, and now they don't have to blame themselves. And at the end of this section, they have to be like, oh, okay, makes sense. Like I had my epiphany moment, that everything makes sense now. Now, number five is the unique mechanism. And now the reader is equipped to believe that the root cause is XYZ, and they actually trust the root cause that you explained to them. And now they know why their previous solutions didn't work. So now they're in the market looking for something new that actually fixes the root cause that you introduced to them. So now you have to build a very specific mechanism about your own product slash solution that can clearly convince the readers that your product and your solution will work, right? However, that's not enough because you have to make your unique mechanism so goddamn specific to the point where they have to believe that there's no other solutions in the market that could possibly do this, and they have no choice but to go with your product, right? So make sure to implement exact details about your unique mechanism, including numbers, just specific data. So to give you an example, if it's like a red light therapy thing, your unique mechanism could be, oh, like it has to specifically, to target the actual root cause that we just informed you on, it has to target like a specific wavelength of XYZ nanometers, et cetera, and our product actually does that, right? So you just have to be extremely specific with the UMS, sorry. So they actually believe that your solution is the only thing on the market that actually does what it says, right? So number six is the social proof story. Now comes social proof, where the readers have to believe this product actually works by seeing other people having tried the same solution, right? Humans are not equipped to being the first ones to try something. It gives them more confidence to try something only after seeing somebody else doing it for the first time, right? So if you suddenly write that your product solved a specific pain point on day one, it's not believable, right? So this is why on native ads and advertorials, you see like, oh, like day one didn't really see much of a difference, but then by like week 4, week 6, etc., etc., it started working like a miracle. So you can't just say your product worked on day one, or else they're just going to click off and be like, yeah, of course it worked on day one. So the social proof has to be gradual and believable, and has to come from a first person transformation, right? Almost like a native ad. And the timeline has to be clear with exact details and what was solved week by week. Like it's almost as if like, if people have 3 different pain points, it's like, oh, week 1 solved this pain point, week 2 solved this, and week 3 solved this. Very, very specific on what problems it solved week by week through the gradual transformation. So when it comes to steps 7, 8, 9, 10, I personally feel it's going to be better if I actually show you through the example breakdown that I'm going to be doing next. So I'll skip these for now and then explain clearly exactly what this is and what it does whilst I'm doing the advertorial breakdown. Now, in this section of the video, I'm going to be doing a live breakdown of an advertorial that is actively running right now. And I'm going to just show you guys exactly how the framework and psychological principles that I explained come into play. Now, I found a brand on TrendTrack. It's called Smooth Spine. They have 1.6 million monthly visitors, a really good Trustpilot score. And they launched around this time last year. And they peaked during Black Friday, and then they've been crushing it ever since. So yeah, this brand is crushing it. What they sell are these back relieving massaging pillows. But if you click on meta ads here, and you check, you can filter it by top performing, longest active, but I filtered it by top performing. And you just want to click through these things. It's a quiz funnel. But this one, this advertorial, is the one I'm going to be breaking down, and I'll explain to you in a bit why. This one is another advertorial, but I'm not doing this one. I think this is the same one. Yeah, this is the same one. Now, the reason why I'm going to be breaking down this advertorial from this ad is because you could literally come here and look at the top landing pages, and if you click here, it shows you the top one. So if I'm going to do a breakdown, I'm just going to break down the top advertorial. Why would I do anything else, right? So going back to my main point here, everything starts with an ad. So if you just look here on the 2 ads that bring you to the advertorial that we're going to be breaking down, it has to do with back pain. So stop your bad back from ruining your life. And then this one, if you just look here, it's like 3 ways to get back pain relief, right? So everything starts with the ad. If you cannot generate traffic from your ad, nobody's going to go through to your advertorial, nobody's going to buy, right? So your ad has to do the heavy lifting. Once your ad does the heavy lifting, brings them to the advertorial, then it's a whole different story. So let's say you capture the attention of people who want to fix their back pain. They press on learn more, they get taken to this advertorial. Now, I'm just going to show you exactly what the breakdown looks like. I made the chart here. So number 1 is the actual hook, and the hook's job is to dressing by stress. What do I mean by that? It has to look like something that serves a purpose for them and not an ad, right? So if you look here, Smooth Spine, trending in health, it looks like a news article. So the reason it works is because this looks nothing like an ad, and it looks like almost like a blog post, like a news article that people would read on an everyday basis. And it says, top physiotherapists, this is the fastest way to fix sciatica for good, right? So people who have the pain point of sciatica, they're going to read that and be like, oh my God, what is it going to tell me? It's probably going to serve a purpose for me because my pain threshold is so goddamn high and I want to fix my back, and this is going to tell me exactly what I need to do, right? So this whole thing is dressed in the form of a news article, which is why it works. And if you look at the hook, it says, I'm about to piss off every chiropractor, pain clinic, and spine surgeon in America. This stirs up gossip and drama, it's almost like this Dr. Blaine Schilling is going to tell you a secret that is going to just destroy the chiropractor industry, right? So people are like, oh my God, what is it? This guy's going to release something. People love drama. People love gossip. People love like conspiracy. So this hook does an extremely good job of capturing the reader's attention. And when it comes to the actual headline here, fastest way to fix sciatica for good, people have momentary solutions to fix their back pain, but it's not for good, which is also why I think the copy is extremely well written. Now, number 2 is going into the current situation. So these are the explanations I wrote here, but for the current situation, I just want to point this out. While I was reading this, this is the current situation. If you're reading this with a heating pad pressed against your back, popping pills like candy, or sleeping in weird twisted positions that sometimes helps, the next 5 minutes could be the most important part of your life. Like, this sentence so clearly indicates the current pain point that the people are going through, and it clearly mirrors their current situation exactly back to them, right? So it also comes with this fix sciatica for good, right? And it says twisted positions that sometimes helps, right? So it clearly mirrors the prospect's current situation to them, and they're like, how do they know I have a back pad or like a heating pad? How do they know I'm popping pills like candy? Or how do they know that I'm sleeping in weird twisted positions that only sometimes helps? They're like, okay, I'm bought in now. Like they clearly describe the current situation. I'm bought in. Now, regarding the failed mechanisms, stretches, exercises here. I'm just gonna look for that. Yep. Failed mechanisms. So the person literally says, I tried everything my training taught me. Stretches, exercises, massage techniques, ice, heat, TENS units. Nothing worked for more than a few hours. So everything has to allude to the point that everything was like a momentary solution, like a partial, not like a for good solution, right? So they do a very good job in indicating that and alluding to that fact. The experts weren't any better. Her chiropractor, pain management doctor, spine surgeon. So it's essentially saying that nothing was working. That was the night something snapped inside of me. So this is almost like a native ad. So if you guys remember and you refer back to my native ad copy blueprint, there is a certain breaking point that the narrator hits for them to find the solution, right? They're dealing with the problem, and at one point in time, they just went through so much goddamn pain. They're like, fuck this, I'm going to find a solution for this. Same thing here. This is a breaking point. This is literally something inside me snapped. I wasn't going to watch the woman I love turn into a prescription drug statistic. Gonna let some yeah, this is the breaking point. Now, if you go to the root cause, real root cause, they literally write the root cause. Like in the headline here, they're going into the root cause now, soon after that. So the real root cause of sciatica. Picture your spine like a stack of jelly donuts. The vertebrae are the donuts, the discs are the jelly filling. When you're young, they're plump, but here's what happens after 30. So yeah, obviously their avatar is over 30, dealing with back pain. Here's what happens after 30. The discs start losing fluid, getting thinner, etc., etc. So they do so much education on the root cause. So this is like AKA new information on the problem, right? If you refer back to my native ad copy blueprint. So they're clearly educating the readers on exactly why they haven't been able to fix anything, and they're educating them on the root cause of what their issue is, right? So once they read this, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, makes sense. Now, what else is the root cause? Here's the kicker. No, there's no money fixing it. Why? Solution is too simple, too cheap, and it will put half the spine surgeons in Beverly Hills out of business. So it's almost alluding to like drama and gossip and like a conspiracy theory, saying, oh, there's actually a solution there, and like there's a way to fix this root cause, but it's just that doctors and spine surgeons won't be able to make enough money, which is why nobody's actually telling you about this. So people, it drives the people crazy, and they're like, oh, I want to know, I want to know. So they keep on reading. These are very good open loops that the copywriter is doing, conducting, and then the unique mechanism. I hope everything is making sense, by the way, guys. It's really long and kind of boring, but this is what makes money. Yeah, so after they explain the root cause to everybody, introducing the device that actually fixes sciatica. It's called the Smooth Spine Triple Fusion Massager. It's the single device on earth that delivers all three requirements for lasting sciatic relief. So in the root cause, they explain the three different factors that make your sciatica extremely bad, right? And once they educated the readers on why their sciatica was happening and the root cause behind it, like they literally informed them on three different things, like dynamic traction, therapeutic heat, targeted massage. So these are the three requirements for sciatica relief, and they've clearly explained this in the root cause of the actual problem. So when you explain the root cause of the problem, saying it's these three things, and then you position your product to say, oh, you remember those three different root causes that cause your sciatica and your back pain? This product that I just introduced to you has all three and targets all three issues, so it can actually solve your sciatica and your back pain, right? And then go down. So they clearly explain the unique mechanism. You literally just lie down. This is also like the Hormozy equation. They're trying to delete the effort and sacrifice, so they're saying like, oh, it has all three, so it's like an all-in-one type of thing, and you literally just lie down, press one button, and let 18 years of research do the work. No appointments, no copays, no nonsense. Just your spine finally getting what it's screaming for. So it's literally the Hormozy equation coming into play, as well as the root cause, and then the unique mechanism being introduced all at the same time. So I really, really like this advertorial. It's a clear reason why it's doing well. Now, getting into social proof and story, they actually don't follow this exact step-by-step structure, but they have this specific component above. So 3 weeks, that's not there. So if you look here somewhere, so this is where they actually introduce the product. but the social proof of why the product works was up here somewhere. Yeah. Remember my wife on the bathroom floor 3 weeks after my discovery, she was dancing at her sister's wedding. So the reason they do this and don't actually follow the step by step is because once they allude to the fact that this solution works and they haven't even like given the solution to the readers are going to go even more crazy to figure out exactly what it is. They're going to keep scrolling and then look for the products, right? So no more pills. So this one, they did an inverse social proof of the story and they listed it up top, increasing the curiosity gap so people keep on reading to find out exactly what made his wife go from the bathroom floor to dancing at her sister's wedding. Now, moving on to objection handling. Now, I'm just going to film the objection handling part again and everything below, but objection handling so this is where people are still skeptical as they're from cold traffic, and this is where you have to introduce testimonials. And to be more specific, what you want to do, even on your actual product page and your judge me reviews and everything, your testimonials have to handle the most common objections people are going to give you. For example, is this going to work? How long is this going to take to actually work? And then why can't I just use something else? All these little different objections, you got to identify the most common ones and be able to handle them through testimonials, because what other better way to do it than testimonials, right? So if you look here, what they do is they have their testimonial section right here, meaning that they have their component number 7. So right here, in the last 18 months, over 21K people have used SmoothSpine, testimonial, results, 91% report. Like, obviously, this is all fake, but look here. Jennifer K, Phoenix, Arizona. My orthopedic surgeon literally asked me what I've been doing wrong. When I showed him the SmoothSpine, he ordered one for his wife. That's when I knew this one was different. So it's like borrowed authority. Like doctors are actually using it themselves too. And then Marcus T, Detroit. I'm a roofer, bad back equals no work, no pay. This thing saved my career. So it's like a career saving angle period, worth 10x what I paid. Dorothy P, Tampa, Florida. I'm 71. They told me surgery was my only option, but I've been using SmoothSpine for 4 months. Just booked a hiking trip, and almost just alluding to the fact that this miracle thing just worked, and I hike now. I went from like bad back pain to a surgeon can kiss my pain-free ass. So yeah, they're really making the medical industry and the surgeons the common enemy. The common enemy is not only the back pain, it's also the doctors in the medical industry, because they're really trying to allude to the fact that, oh, none of the doctors want you to know this, because if you know this cheaper option, like as opposed to surgery and all these expensive solutions out there, the medical industry is not going to make enough money off of you, which is why they don't want you to know about this. So they're so smart, and they're so good at writing copy as to where they have the common enemy of the medical device. So it almost makes the readers feel like if they don't use this, they're gonna help the medical industry and help the rich get richer, which apparently people hate all over TikTok. People hate letting the rich get richer, so they're like, oh my God, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use this cheaper option. I'm going to help myself fix my pain and fuck the medical industry, you know? So they're really alluding to that point where it's like, oh, if you don't use this, you're helping the medical industry get richer off your pain, which is bad. Now, building scarcity, price means nothing on its own. It's only when the reader, you give a recommendation, not salesy. They do it like this. So you know how I just mentioned that they said fuck the medical industry, and they're making that the common enemy. Look at what they do here to build scarcity and almost just like build a sense of urgency. They say, let me show you what fixing sciatica really costs in America. Chiropractor route 2 times per week, 6K total. Pain management route, 9K in total. Surgery, it's like 25 to 50, and then total your whole life savings and a dice roll and paralysis. The medical industry loves these options. You know why? Because you keep coming back, and the more visits equals more money. Failed surgery equals more surgery. Temporary relief, lifetime customer. It's a gold mine built on human suffering. But here's what really pisses them off. SmoothSpine should cost $3,000. That's what similar they sell for. That's what my prototype costs to build. But I didn't create this to get rich. So it's almost like obviously ecom bros like behind this are like looking at make a lot of money off of this, but they're making it seem like, oh, this is for them. They're like providing value, etc., etc. This regular price is $299, already 99. Yeah, it's so number one, they have the common enemy, which is a medical industry. So if you buy from them, it's almost like you're helping the rich get richer. But this is like, oh, I didn't do this to get rich, so I'm on the other side. I'm on your side now. So pick my product. The doctors hate this. So the readers almost resided and picked a side that, oh, I'm with this person, this SmoothSpine person. I'm with this person. Fuck the medical industry. So they resided with this person. So now they have to buy from them, because if they don't, they're switching sides and they become the opposition, right? And then lastly, I think that's just super smart, which is why I wanted to show you guys this advertorial. It's really like extremely well written and very impressive how they actually did it. CTA risk reversal. This is just super simple, guys. Like 90-day full guarantee. One thing they did was really smart is they said, I'll refund every penny. No forms to fill out, no store credit, none of that nonsense, no questions asked. Just email support@smoothspine.com and say it didn't work. We'll send a prepaid label and your refund hits within 48 hours. So what they're doing here is they're going back to the Hormozy equation, reducing the sacrifice, and obviously the risk, right? Because they're pointing out to all the things that people do to make a refund so difficult. I'm sure like all the ecom bros out there, they make the refunds difficult. So they're talking about all the things that people went through that probably made their refund experience extremely difficult for them, and saying we don't do none of that. Just email them, simple. Just send them. It didn't work. 3 words. That's it, and then we'll send you your refund. And people are like, oh, what's the worst thing that could happen? The whole point of this risk reversal and CTA thing is you take off that the entirely guarantee. Lay out 2 future sides. What if it doesn't pan out? See, a guarantee where losing is impossible. Like losing is genuinely impossible here because you type 3 words and you get your money back. That's all. So, and then the comment section. So the comment section is has to look like this. So I do exactly this, guys. I make it look like Facebook comments, but if you actually try pressing here, can't really press anything. It's not actually Facebook comments. You just make it look like that to make it native to the actual whole thing, and make it look authentic, right? So if you look at the explanation for the holdouts who read the whole thing, stumble and click. A comment section that feels organic tidies up the last few doubts and buys a little more time on the page. The cleverest comments are dressed as small complaints that secretly work as proof and slip in exactly how and where to buy while they're at it. And if you literally look here, the second comment is like, I was skeptical at first, but honestly, this device is worth every penny. It works. So for the people that and 2 of my coworkers ordered it after trying mine. So people who are skeptical reading this are like, oh, I'm skeptical, but this person was skeptical. So, but they bought it and they loved it, and they loved it to the point where 2 of my other coworkers ordered it after trying it out. So they're like, oh, I'm skeptical, she was skeptical, but she bought it and had a good outcome, so I might buy it and have a good outcome for me. Had to buy one for my sister. But the whole point of this is, or I mean, if you guys find like another method to do the comment section, props to you guys, but I'm sticking to the Facebook because this is what really works for me. And yeah, I really like this. But yeah, I think this whole thing goes to show that even if it doesn't follow the exact step-by-step framework here, like 1 to 10, as long as you have the components to it, it works. They've done a really excellent job, which is why I was super excited to show you guys and break this piece of copy down because their advertorials are extremely, extremely good. I'm just extremely impressed, and I was just super excited to share this with everybody because of the fact that this is what excellent copy looks like. But yeah, if you guys want $3,500 worth of ecom tools for just 29 bucks, I'll leave the link in my description below. And if you guys want to follow me on my socials, ask any questions, my DMs are wide open, and I'll leave them in my bio as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that was extremely helpful.